There isn't a hospital in the United States that Medicaid is not among the top 5 payers for that hospital. Hospitals are literally existing right now on a razor thin margin. So you take away one of their top 5 payers, you cut into services for one of their top 5 payers, those hospitals will close. Everybody's initially talking about the rural areas in the United States that are going to be affected, and absolutely that's going to be the case. But I'm going to tell you, as someone who lives in a relatively metropolitan area, that we see it now. We've had in the past few years, we've had several of our hospitals closed. There are 2 more additional hospitals here in northeastern Pennsylvania in Lackawanna County alone that are facing closures because they were owned by corporations who can see the writing on the wall and they don't want anything more to do with these hospitals. So we're trying desperately to find buyers for them, just to provide enough acute care beds to get our patients through. I always call it sick season. So it's kind of like October through like March that we see our skyrocketing, respiratory illness, additional hospitalizations where we are just absolutely stressed to the max as far as acute care bed availability goes. If you ask any nurse who has worked at the bedside since COVID, every single one of them will talk to you about how capacity has affected their mental health. If you talk to any doctor, capacity is a huge issue. When you start cutting away, chipping away at these acute care beds, your communities are not safe. They're literally not safe. You don't have enough acute care beds to handle any emergency. When you look at how Pennsylvania has fared in the midst of a corrupt and horrible and, taking away everybody's rights, Trump regime, Pennsylvania's done pretty well. We can thank our judges for that. So in November of 2025, we are asking everyone to please, number 1, listen to what we're saying. Number 2, spread the word. So when you look at your ballot, you may have to use both sides of your ballot to vote in November. That's the first thing I want everybody to understand. The second thing is we are voting yes to retain our judges.
If you'd like to help us elect Democrats and progressives in Pennsylvania, go to our website, www.maflippa.org, click on the Join Us link, and tell us how you'd like to help.